So, you want to tell people who you are and what you do, and what's going on right now?
So I'm Fernando Resendiz. I'm Fernando Resendiz Jr. I'm from El Centro, California, Imperial Valley. I'm currently live in Dallas, Texas, and I work in my civilian life. I work for the state as an investigator, and I'm also serving the Army Texas National Guard, which I'm currently on active orders right now. So I do a little bit of everything. I try to do my best to just strive in this fucking weird ass life that's going on right now.
Yeah, this weird world that we like to call home.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I love
definitely.
it. So,
Yeah. It's a chaotic world, but I think if you stay busy and continue fucking doing shit, you don't really get sucked into that chaos. I think you can just continue fucking getting shit done. It's hard, but like it's good to stay fucking busy. It requires that discipline that you grew up with. Like you were saying, it's not just fucking something that's easy. I feel like, or else people would be doing it more. ¿Cómo está el trabajo?
state job is doing pretty good. For like right now, I'm on order, so I'm off the job.
Right.
I'm just waiting to get off order so I can go back to work. But it's pretty hectic job, man. Very interesting. I normally have worked the state for about 4 years,
You've been there four
four
years.
four and a half, and I've worked pretty much all of Dallas, bro. Like when I say all of Dallas, I
Mm,
know Dallas from the roughest neighborhoods to the most bougiest fucking neighborhoods. Um,
really?
because I worked 2 years Dallas County, which is a big fucking county.
Yeah.
Right now, I work outer areas of Dallas County, so I know the whole fucking area, the whole metroplex.
Jesus.
So right now, I work 8 counties. So
Wow.
I all the
Is
way
it you and
to
a team, or is it just a fuck ton of you
yeah,
guys that go out there?
it's a team, but you go by yourself,
Right.
and depending on what type of case, because it depends on cases. If
Sure.
it's like a case like that's very like a sexual abuse case, or so
Yeah.
you'll go with the detective, the
Right. I was
PD.
about to ask. Yeah.
We work with them a lot. If it's like a hospital case,
Hmm.
I mean, we work media cases. We work children's death cases. We work everything, bro. Everything has to do
Really?
with child.
So
Anything has to do with child involved.
anything that has to do with what, sorry?
With a child involved that has, but
Oh,
serious. I don't. Right now, I don't work. No, nothing that has to do like neglectful, neglectful supervision and things like that. But it has
yeah,
to be serious, very serious
yeah.
things. That's the only type of cases I work.
That's crazy. My wife does like um a softer version of that kind of. She works for CHS. Um, so she works. She's a wraparound
Yeah.
facilitator, so she has to get like a group of like a psychologist, a therapist, a youth partner, which is another person that like talks to the kid the most, and then there's like a parent partner who like focuses on the parent, and he's like he or she is talking to them through the whole process, making sure that they're understanding the process. And her job, my wife's as a facilitator, she has to set everything up. She has to set up conferences, and she has to make sure that everything's. Uh, She has to set up a plan that can help the kid and the family better from the situation that they're from. Like,
I used to do something like that too.
oh really?
And it was for the state too.
Yeah.
Um,
She said it's
it
so
was
stressful.
yeah, it's once you deal with families, once you deal with a lot of people, because there's a lot of dynamics that you work with.
Mm-hmm.
It's not until you work in those environments, it's not like just black and white. It is everything, man. You have to look at every single detail, everything, and it's hard to accommodate everybody. It's hard to you work with like it's 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 hard, man. It's a
Yeah, you
very
have to
I'm a
do a lot of
Yeah,
shit. It's
hard job.
crazy.
Some people don't have it. A lot of people quit very quick, like the first few months.
She doesn't want to do it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people quit. So I've had coworkers walk out like they're like, "Fuck this, I'm done. I don't want to do this." Like it's just
Really?
I've had people that it consumes them. They cry. They
I mean, dude, it's a hard job, dude. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy shit to, especially if you've never been around any sort of like, I don't want to say difficult environment, but not a normal like Seattle, Washington, or Linwood, Washington sort of environment compared to Imperial Valley, or Central California, or Raleigh, or Calexico. Like that's a whole different sort of cornfield. But like I think if you haven't
it's
seen any sort of that shit, and you know you finally get introduced to that sort of shit, it probably hits as a big like fucking shell shock. Putazote. Just a just just like just like a big ass hit of fucking of emotions that they've never seen, I
you've
guess.
never you that's what and I personally I see when my type of work is you I guess we go in and I say we or me my coworkers we
Sure.
really want to do like a difference help people
Right.
and just kind of make a little bit the world better in a way
Yeah.
but if you don't check your biases if you don't check your own traumas them fuckers are gonna come out there when
Yeah.
when you're there in front of a case and you have to hold yourself still.
Yeah.
I fuck around a lot. I'm a joker. I like to fuck around a lot. Like
Sure.
I cuss a lot and all that. But when it
Yeah.
comes to my job, when it comes to like
Being professional.
checking
Yeah.
to a professional, I do my shit and I keep it straight. And
Right.
but it goes down to you have to check your biases and traumas when you work, especially those type of jobs,
Oh,
because if you
definitely.
going already with that mentality of like, oh, this person is guilty or this person is this, which
Right.
you always want to kind of do your research and investigate and all that. But
Yeah.
when it comes with traumas, you go and you see fucking a kid that's all bruised up and in hospital and all that,
Damn.
and you've never seen somebody fucked up, or
Yeah.
you've never been in the neighborhood in the hood where you're getting shots and all that.
It's gonna throw you off. Yeah.
It's gonna come up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that I don't know, man. I'm grateful how I grew up. I'm not. I
Yeah.
know it wasn't the best environment. Well, it was, but it wasn't, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No, it was good and bad. It was definitely good and bad. It helped you like build, like grow
resilience,
differently. And yeah. Yeah. And it helped you like fucking.
like you go and I do the job, and I'm like, I don't mean to be fucked up, but I'm like, okay, I've seen that shit before. Shit, my neighbor used to
Right.
say.
Yeah. 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 We could hear him getting beat. I remember walking.
Yeah.
I remember going to POW one day, dude, and some girl was getting beat like by this dude, by this like I was a kid. I can't even remember how old I was. I was young, and I remember just hearing the chick scream, and it was outside of the apartments too, right there by the dog pound, by where Lise used to live at, um, before she moved somewhere else, and I stopped and I fucking like looked at the dude, and I was gonna be like, yo, motherfucker. I was just staring at him, and I was just staring at him, and then he like looked at me and he stopped, obviously because it's a fucking kid just watching domestic violence. And then I think he like took her inside, and I just kept walking. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, god damn. But I remember being very young, and I was like, man, should I say something, or is he gonna just fucking beat like my little ass, because I'm a fucking kid. This guy was a grown ass pelon, fucking Simon, like just being a fucking piece of shit. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
bet that job
yeah.
is fucking hard, man. I bet that job.
The job is it's hard. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. That it's easy. That I'm fucking. It has its struggles. It has its stress.
Yeah.
I've been in for a while, so anxiety levels are low at this point. But I remember first when I first started the job, it kind
Mm.
of I could feel the anxiety levels going up, the stress, but
Really.
yeah, but luckily I'm pretty self-minded. I kind of
Yeah,
know
you
myself.
focused, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. I had to stop domestic violence twice on my previous neighbors up here in Washington. Yeah, yeah. Like I didn't want to get involved, right? But it got so bad that I was like, all right, I gotta go out there. Like I have to go out there.
You have to, man, because at
Yeah.
the end the especially kids, like,
Dude, there was
unfortunately
two kids there, bro. There was two kids
are the
there.
ones the kids are the ones that suffer.
Yeah. There was two kids and like they usually fight. They would usually fight, but they never like I had never heard them fight. It was just like actually screaming and shit like that and like get the fuck out, But um, but there was some Asian couple. I don't know
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
the actual time, but there were some Asians and they were fucking. The dude was like fucking hitting her. You heard her run outside, and then she was like help, and then as soon as she said help, that's when I was like, that's my invitation. So then I fucking go outside. Yeah, as soon as she said help,
Right,
I was like,
motherfucker.
I'm coming in hot. So then I go outside. Yeah, I go outside and she's like on the top of the stairs. Their doors open right next to me, and the dude starts running over here, and I was like, "Hey, dude, whatever the fuck is going on, just stay inside." I was like, "You gotta stay inside and you gotta calm the fuck down." And then he like he was like, "Ah," and I was like, "Dude, I don't give a fuck what's going on." And I had to like raise my voice, and I was like, "I don't give a fuck what's going on between you two, but you need to calm down. Like, you need to chill out, dude. Like, that's it. Like right here, that it's over." And then he like closed the door and went inside. And I was like, "Do you want us to call 911?" And then she was like, "Yes, call 911, call 911." I was like, all right then. And then Stavali started calling the cops, and I just stood out there with her just in case I do want to come back out or fucking try to do something. I wasn't sure if he was like hyped on fucking drugs or something because he'd always listen to blast music. I'd have to go over there and be like, "Yo, man, put that shit down a little bit, motherfucker." Like I live right next door. Um, but so I thought he was probably high on something. And when we called the cops, we were like, "Hey, there's two kids in there. It's more for the kids than it is for the parents." Um, so they went in there and made sure they took a look at the kids and they talked to the kids. But also that's kind of I feel like it's kind of shitty to put the kids in that environment where cops show up and have to talk to them and like have to see their dad and mom like separated slightly and just like you know what I mean? Like that's just
Kind of like we're recording this. That's the things kids they're being recorded, and
oh
that
yeah.
those all that shit, all those images, all those sounds, it's gonna come up one day in their life.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think people really think about it like that though, unfortunately. I don't think anybody was really ever like
Nope,
I don't think any
they
when
don't.
everybody when you do something in front of a kid, I don't think they're like, "Oh, he's going to remember this." Or like cuz you really don't remember it, but it comes up in such a different manner like of like how you grow up and how
Yeah.
what makes you anxious and shit that you look out for and kind of like it builds who you are differently than other people who have not seen. And you see it in boot camp too. You see it in basic training, I think. When people just freak out.
I remember the first talking about boot camp. The
Mm-hmm.
first time we got out of the bus, they did the fucking shark attack, and you're fucking focused, you're sweating, they
Yeah,
got
yeah,
you
yeah.
fucking yelling at you, doing fucking, it's like chaos, like you don't know what the fuck to do, and you just keep
Yeah.
going. And I remember I just kept fucking thinking, just do it, just do it.
Just do it.
And I remember
Just do it.
there was this white kid, and he was just pouring, like he was crying, he was shaking, and
Really?
I'm carrying my bag, and I'm trying to get this fool to chill, like, bro, let's do it. Come on. I'm trying to pep talk in the middle of fucking drill sergeants yelling at me. And the drill sergeant, are you gonna leave him? Are you gonna fucking leave him? He's a pussy. And I'm like, bro, let's do it. And I ended up going. So he ended up
Yeah.
catching up again. Ended up catching up again. And
Mm.
I could tell his face, bro. Like, just
Yeah.
he would just at that point we were starting, and at that point
Yeah.
he already have give up mentally,
Oh, he
because
was
he
already
would.
like, fuck this, huh? He was already like, I don't
Yeah.
want, I don't
And
like this.
he was already saying the words. I could see, and I remember him clearly. He was from fucking Utah. I can't remember where the fuck. It was one of those things.
Yeah.
And he would just say, like, I can't do this. Like, he would just, I can't do this. I can't do this. I need to go home. And he kept saying and repeating. Well, we ended up putting this fucker in suicide watch, bro.
Oh, we had a few of those. Yeah.
So
Where
yeah,
somebody
we
has to follow him like all everywhere. Shit, where if he
everything.
goes shit and piss, you have to follow him. I don't know how you guys did it, but we made him like he would, because we have squad bays, right, where it's just an open building and we all sleep in bunks, like
Yeah,
like in bunks, and they'd put his bunk right in like almost in the middle of the whole squad bay, and they'd have two fire watches. They would have one for the building and one for him.
we did the
So
same.
so nobody liked him immediately.
You wanna fucking sleep, bro? After a
You're
fucking day.
fucking two people, not one. Two, you little bitch.
Hey, but that's funny because we're saying that because we were able to handle it, but then you got people that aren't.
Yeah. I
At
know.
that point,
I'm
at
just
that point, it's like, and I know we talk shit, but because man, at that point, I was like, man, you little bitch. but
yeah.
at the end, I think I don't know, man. He's just mentally. I feel some people are just not mentally built or
Yeah.
haven't gone through enough stress in their life or situations where you're able to cope with those type of stress and then kind of process it and bring it out in different ways. So maybe because I remember I talked to him and he's like, I've never gone outside my house. This is the first time being out of my house. So this motherfucker was like,
Wow.
bubble, and then all of a sudden, boom!
Bubble
You're like,
popped.
yeah.
He didn't even walk out, and somebody went, "Pop, get the
He
fuck
just
out
went
here."
straight for the fuck. No
Yeah.
lube, just
No
like that.
lube, just hard, baby. Damn. What the fuck was he thinking? It's like
Yeah,
it's
we
like
had a
it's like if you joined the military before the internet existed, because
yeah.
then you had no fucking clue, right?
You have an
No
idea.
fucking idea. You just hear stories, but barely. If you grow around military people, which I didn't. I don't know if you did, but I didn't either. Um, so I didn't know anything until I started actually looking into it and fucking watching videos, and I was like, "Fuck, man, boot camp looks like it fucking sucks," you know. But I was like, "Fuck it," we gotta go through it.
At the end, it's gonna be different for everybody.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I remember I would think, how is it? I can do it, but then you're there, and it's like,
It's
fuck.
yeah. I don't,
Like,
I,
fuck.
I don't know how your experience and how it was for us. Like just pulling in the bus because I was from Cali already, and my boot camp was in San Diego, so they just drove my ass up to a hotel, and then the next day we'd go to Maps, and the bus would pick us up at Maps. And you get in the fucking bus. It's early as fuck, and they just fucking make you put your head down when you get into the actual MCRD. And I don't know if this is true. I heard they make you put your head down so you don't know where to go. Is that what they told you guys too? Yeah.
That was the situation I told you about the kid.
Uh-huh.
It was that same. They put our heads down and they
Yeah.
just drove us. We didn't know
Uh-huh.
where the fuck we were going, and then a drill sergeant comes in. All right, motherfuckers, you got 10 seconds to go. And you're like,
Yeah.
fuck. And
Yeah.
it's like fucking hell breaks loose, and
Dude,
it's
you're like when the bus stops and you get there and you fucking and you're just looking at the front of the bus because you hear the bus doors open. Eyeballs, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, get the fuck up, get out of my fucking bus!" Like,
and then
and
you
you're
don't
just
even know
like,
what
yeah, you just boom, 0 to 100, let's
to do.
go.
You don't know what to do. You just move. You're just
Yeah,
like you're not even doing shit, but you're just
you're
moving and
just going,
moving.
you're just going in whatever the direction they told you to go. You're just moving. I know it's a little bit different now because of the COVID-19. One of my buddies is a drill instructor for the Marine Corps. Uh, and he's saying that they put them in like a
Yeah.
quarantine thing for like 2 weeks, and then they fucking just because of COVID, and then they start them through the process. Yeah, which is fucking weird though. I wonder if I feel like it takes it. I know they do the yellow footprints still, but I think it's a little weird already because you don't get that first getting the fuck off the bus. Like, I just don't think you get that group of emotions that comes at you that first day, and you're just like,
As much as you try to explain it to people, like
yeah,
you have to go through it. You have
yeah,
to.
like
I really like to tell people like you have to go through it. And actually that's one of the reasons I fucking joined, because I just want to fucking go through it.
yeah,
I
experience it.
want to experience. I'm all about experiences. And if people tell me don't do that shit, I'm gonna do that
I'm gonna
shit.
go for it.
Go for it. Hey, don't smoke crack. Fuck it. I'm gonna smoke crack.
I'm gonna
See
smoke
what
a little
this
bit of
feels
crack.
like.
Yeah, yeah, dude. It's definitely an experience, and honestly, it's almost like an unreal experience. Like I'll look at it, like sometimes I'll look at videos, right? Like because I follow a bunch of pages on Facebook or whatever, and like boot camp videos will pop up, and I'll be like, God damn, I can't believe
Yeah.
that shit. Like I can't believe, and it's not even like super crazy or anything, but compared to like what other people do, I think it's kind of cool. You know, I
I
just think,
think I think the craziest is the consistency of it. It's like day in and day out. You're day in and day out from
mm-hmm,
sunrise to sunset,
schedule.
not fucking stop.
Yeah.
At fucking go. Like if you're a person that has no fucking discipline, good thing I joined.
Fuck.
I joined older. So I already had
Yeah.
life discipline. I
Yeah.
just had to, of course, learn the military discipline.
Yeah.
But but it's just go and go for 3 fucking months, 3.5 of just going, bro. Like you don't even
Yeah.
you don't fucking you, bro. You got people sleeping standing up. You
Fuck
got
yeah.
for the first time when I graduated,
Uh,
my wife went to visit me, and it's funny because she laughs at this shit. We
yeah.
rented a hotel room because they were driving me to AIT,
Mm-hmm.
Advanced Individual Training. Went from South Carolina to Virginia. Um, and we were sleeping in the bed, bro. I told my wife I can't sleep in the bed. I gotta sleep in the floor. Like
Really?
I was fucking, bro. I couldn't sleep in the fucking bed. I
Why?
slept on the fucking floor. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Like most people, when they get out of boot camp too, they usually go home, and they not a lot of them, but a lot of them do. I guess about half. I guess they go home and they make their beds fucking like crisp, like just like if they're getting yeah yeah yeah
Barrio, pinche planchadito, la
yeah
verga.
yeah like if they're getting checked in the morning and shit, like fucking because every morning they would I don't know how they do it in the army, but every morning they would inspect every single bed. They would make you undo it every morning, like just fucking destroy it. They would make you
Yep.
they'd make you destroy it and fucking just take it apart, and then make you do it one step at a time, one fucking step at a time. I don't know how different it is now, but yeah, that shit. Boot camp is definitely, I think, an experience that a lot of people could use.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I sometimes I talk to people and I'm like, I feel boot camp can be something a lot of kids like. Even I'm not saying,
I
how
think
can I
there's
put it this way? Because I've had people reach out to me
sure.
and be like, I need discipline. Should I join the military? I'm like, well, discipline you'll get. I guess you'll. It's not that you'll get it. You kind of form it because they're on your ass.
Yeah,
But I've seen a lot of people that get out of military and they don't have no fucking discipline because once that
yeah,
structure is off.
yeah,
So I'm gonna tell them that. I think I've, I don't say I've always been disciplined because I wasn't disciplined growing up. I fucking was
right.
a shit show. But I've learned through my life that discipline and consistency is gonna take me where I want to fucking go in life. So
Yeah,
just a military experience and tailor it to my civilian life, so I just kind of
it's just more of
make
a
it better.
bonus. Yeah,
Exactly. It's more
yeah.
like bonus.
It's like a little bit of an upgrade because you're, like you said, you already went in there with some discipline that you grew up with and had. but more of like I think for me at least it was more of like a mental sort of discipline when it came to dealing with that type of shit. Because I went in there just already thinking this is all like a game. This is all scheduled. Like this is all gonna go this specific way. Um, I just gotta follow these steps, and I'll get to the end.
And
You
you'll
know,
be good. And
um,
you'll be good.
and you'll make it. Yeah, and as long as you don't forget that that's all it is, then you'll be okay. But if you let it fucking start getting in there and start fucking with your emotions when it comes to like getting yelled at and spit on your face and fucking taken to like taken outside into like the sand pit and getting fucking slayed and getting sand in your mouth.
Yeah.
Like it could potentially get in there, but I think if you're prepared, I had some dude just break down and start crying when they were throwing all our shit around. They were throwing all our shit around like everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. All our bags that were opening them and fucking just and just kicking shit, kicking shit, kicking shit, like running up and down, like just just as much chaos as you could imagine being like happening in a room was happening. Um, and they were making us run back and forth, and then this dude just starts crying. And I was like, "Let's go, motherfucker! Like, come on! Like, this ain't shit." I was like, "This is a game, dude." I was like, take a second and listen to what's going on upstairs." And you could you could hear
Keep going. Let's
like
keep going.
you could hear from the second floor just a fucking like furniture slamming. So you know it was happening to
Yeah.
everybody. You're like, okay, so this is the part where we get fucked up. You know, like this is where they cause chaos. And after that, I fucking put my name on every little thing that I owned. I sharpied everything because it took me forever to find my chanclas. Um, because they fucking kicked them fucking all my shower shoes, I like to call them. It was definitely fucking controlled chaos. I think it is controlled
Exactly.
chaos. Right.
Yeah, it was fun, bro. It was fucking fun, man. It's really an experience that I'd like to look back into.
Yeah, definitely. So you were saying earlier
Exactly.
that one of the reasons that you also joined was because you wanted to experience, right? Was there any other major motivators for you joining?
The truth, I think one of the main things was I just got bored with my life because I was going to school, I got a
Mm,
job, and I felt that I was pretty good at my job and all that, and I just needed something different, man. I'm always looking to push forward, because at the end, that experiences and all those type of things are gonna make you. I feel they make you in life.
yeah,
So
yeah, dude. I
that's
think
why
it's a good life
that's why
resume.
I'm 30. So
Yeah, it's definitely something cool to have like on your resume as a person. You know, like oh, this look, I've done this, I've done this. Business owner, you know, fucking working for the state, fucking. I think getting your bachelor's degree, like working on your master's. I think I think you're staying on the right path when it comes to like, adding shit to your resume. You know, I think you're doing well. Um,
yeah,
would you say
yeah. And
would you say? Go ahead.
more than my resume, it's just for me as a person,
Right,
bro. Like for me
like your
as
life experiences.
I don't know,
I would
man. Make
say, yeah,
it a live experience,
yeah,
and it portrays like to my people, my family,
fuck yeah.
it at the end, somebody, my cousins, second generations,
Mm,
Mexican Americans. I am Mexican American. Second generations, they now they have somebody they can look up to that
right,
knows them, knows how to play the fucking life game, I guess, in a way. Because at the
right.
end, everybody play their own way, but at least I can show them a map, or at least I can fucking tell them, you know, uh, game shark. I can be the game shark for them,
Yeah, yeah. I think you can show them options of like, because like you said, people go about how they want to do things differently, right? Some people are comfortable with working a job and you know getting home and just playing video games, which I fucking do. I enjoy playing video games and not doing anything else, right? And that's cool. Or some people just like to do this and come home and draw or whatever they may want to do. Like they're good with working and hobbies, or and some people want to try to do a little bit more, like work, come back and work on something else that you could potentially grow into something that'll be good for you and your family. And um, we were talking about this last time you were on here about you being a first generation Mexican American. Do you want to explain what that is for people who don't know?
Yeah. So meaning, my parents, my whole family came from Mexico, and I was
Yeah.
born in California, Pearl Valley, and pretty much we're navigating U.S. life, trying to know the fucking system because my parents, grandparents, most of them don't know it. Of course, as of right now, they know a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel it's our job as Mexican Americans, as first generation, to
Yeah.
help them and open that path to other kids coming from
Yeah.
wherever, whichever country. I'm just saying Mexico because that's where my parents from.
Right.
Got always represent,
That's right. That's
But
right.
yeah, just kind of try to navigate the system, the U.S. system, because not everybody knows it.
Yeah.
I at one point didn't know it, and I had to fucking hit walls and
Sure.
read and ask, and because
Do
I didn't
research.
have nobody, yeah, I didn't have nobody I could actually talk to, so I had to fucking just fucking learn sometimes
Learn.
by my.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine how hard our learning curve was being first generation Mexican Americans, right? But imagine our parents when they came over here. Like when my mom came over here, she fucking barely knew English, barely knew a fucking lick of English, and she was, but she just fucking started working, she started grinding, and she set up her stepping stone for us, right? By
Yeah,
busting her ass, going to school, learning English, getting her citizenship, all that shit. And then I feel like it seems like a big responsibility whether you want to take it like that or not. But being the first generation, I feel like you're the next person to set another stepping stone of like your family tree. Like, oh look, boom, this is what we've done. Like my brother owns a business. I was in the Marine Corps. Everybody, like, we're all doing that. And like you're trying to, from my perspective, I want to set a decent footprint down, and I hope I can, because that's something that I really want to do for the first generation, as being a first generation guy, and I think that helps with motivation
yeah,
when it comes to doing shit.
it helps with anything, and that's how you have to think. Like me personally, I thrive from that shit. I like to see, my little brother. My brother's
Mm,
doing good, so I like to see him doing good.
fuck
That
yeah,
makes me want to do good, and at the end, I feels like like you're saying how our parents came here, they worked, and now it's our turn. It's like a
yeah,
baton race. Like we're a
right,
fucking team. Now it's your turn. Go for it, homie. Run
yeah,
that shit.
run it, fucking set
Yeah,
set
run
set
that
the
shit. Don't
bar,
stop.
yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
bars. Because at the end, personal. I want to be. I want to. I would say represent. Yeah, I
sure,
like to represent, but I feel we don't have a lot of representation in our culture and community when it comes to Mexican Americans, um, just in general, because we don't tend to fucking talk about these
I
types
think
of
you have a
things.
solid point. Yeah, I think you have a fucking super solid point. I don't think people talk about it as much. There's a few things that are a few people that are represented a little bit more, but maybe it's because the way that. Do you think it's maybe because the way the culture is?
We're separated in different sectors because you got being Mexican Americans, which I consider myself a Chicano because we're from California.
Right.
Um, but then you got other people trying to assimilate to the culture like fully.
Mm.
Once you assimilate so much, you don't want to have anything to do with their culture, or and
Yeah.
instead of the raza up. So
Mm.
I don't know, man. It's a hard one, but at least in my part, I think I'm trying to do my part.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you, I also mentor high school kids, and I mentor for a foundation called Choice, and it's just mentoring high school kids that are low income,
Mm-hmm.
they're first generation,
That's awesome, dude.
Mexican, and all that. So, and it goes back to that's what I thrive from. Because at the end, I see myself being that fucking kid with no fucking guide, and at least kid has a question about college. I can help him how to
in the
do
right direction. Yeah,
exactly. So it's
that's
I don't
awesome.
know, man. I feel I'm doing what I can, and I'm trying my best.
I think that's fucking cool, man. Because especially you said you're mentoring high school kids, right? I think being in high school is a super fucking important part of your life, because that's when you that's when you're expected, which I don't think should be the standard, but I think it is. That's when you're expected to know where you need to go. Like, oh, are you gonna go this way, or are you gonna go that way? And I think it's kind of fucked up that people expect you to know the answer to that as soon as you get out of high school, when you haven't really experienced shit. Yeah, you don't know shit, right? You're just getting out to the world. Um, and and I think that's really cool, because you can tell them about your experiences, and show them that you can do all this shit, and you can still be fucking be on a successful path.
It's at a different level, the connection that you make, because now they see somebody like themselves.
Yeah.
Ya tiene, I'll be because I Spanglish or speak
Yeah.
Spanish. Now ya tiene un güey que habla como ellos.
Yeah.
So me miran a mí. Yeah, I still, I snap back, and shit like that, but I got my shit together, and they talk to me, and of course I'll be professional that, but I'll be real with them, like I know what's up, yo, ya sé cómo corre el agua, ya estuve, ya sé cómo, so now they see somebody that they can actually be like, you know what, if this motherfucker can do it, and not me, instead of seeing something that's like fuck no, I can't do that because I'm not white. I can't do that because those barriers that we tend to put ourselves, and it could be for many reasons, either because of media, because of our own culture. Now they're exposed to somebody. At least I want to try to make them feel comfortable. Like, you know what, man? Like, it doesn't matter where you from, because you know where we're from. It doesn't matter like how you grew up, doesn't matter your language. As a matter of fact, you turn that shit into strengths. That's the goal, bro.
Oh yeah. Just go forward, try to use whatever you're dealing with as an advantage, and add it to the books of how you deal with life, and you can potentially use that as a tool instead of something that's crippling you. You could flip that bitch around, and use the way you deal with stress for better jobs, and like you were saying, like your job, like you can fucking deal with it a little bit better than some people can, who might just got enough and quit, because like it's not a fucking easy job to do, man. That sounds like a hard ass job to do, especially dealing with like kids and all that sort of stuff. Do you think do you talk to them about the military too, or is that something that you don't try to?
Well, man, a lot of them, some kids, especially, I don't know. I feel like, I think in our culture we tend to look towards the military a lot, because man, we got a lot of Mexican Americans in the fucking military.
Yeah.
And a lot of Latinos. We got a lot of fucking Latinos in it, and it's pretty cool, and I think a lot of us, we tend to seek it because we want to improve. It's kind of like you're saying, we want to. For us, that's like an American dream. Like, we want to get that step forward, and it is. If you use it correctly, it is. You can use it. It's how you use it. I don't really push the military. If they ask me, I talk about it, because I never want to push anything that is not in the best of their interest. In a personal experience, I do tell my personal experience. I love the military, bro. I enjoy it. I love the culture. I fucking love to hang out with the homies. Like, I like the discipline. I love to work out. So I like it, bro. Like, to me, they pay my they pay my master's degree. They're probably gonna pay for my wife's degrees. So if I wasn't there, maybe I had to hustle way more to try to get that stepping stone. But I explain to them everything. I throw it on I tell them. I do this with my niece. Because she sees me.
Sure.
And she's asked, like, because I'm the first one in the family. So she sees me, she knows that what I do and all that, and she's about 13, 14, so she's already asking questions. And I break it down to her like there's other options. Like you don't have to choose that option, you know.
Right.
And I explained to her, if you want another option, you can do it. Like we can help you. Me and my wife can help you go to college. You don't have to join the military. It's not like you have to. If you like and you want, you can. Like me, I didn't join the military till I was almost 30. You know, I wasn't like the normal kid, 18, 19. Bro, at that age, I dropped out of high school. I didn't even graduate high school when I was supposed to. I graduated high school almost at 21, bro. Because I was fucking down in the valley.
Look at you now.
And
Holy
look,
shit.
you know, it changed, bro. Like it.
Yeah.
I'm now. Maybe I think that's one of the reasons why I push a lot, because I know I had a late start.
Right.
But I'm catching motherfuckers.
Oh,
I'm
you're
catching.
caught up. Yeah, you're caught up, dude. Fucking you
Bring
are.
up, bitches.
Yeah, they need to catch up, dude. Hell yeah. For reals, man. Yeah, fucking you got your bachelor's, going on your master's, fucking military, fucking state. Yeah, dude. It can be done. It definitely can be done. It just it requires hard work. That's for sure. Everything requires hard work.
Hard.
Honestly.
Okay.
Honestly, there's nothing that
everything
doesn't
requires
require hard work. And
Exactly.
you know, and it could be as simple as fucking sitting down and writing something down, but it still requires you to fucking be like, all right, I'm gonna fucking do it, and I gotta fucking do it, because if I don't do it, then you're not taking the steps forward in the direction that you want to go. You're kind of just thinking and standing there. I guess, you know, I don't have much, but I joined the Marine Corps. I said I was gonna join the Marine Corps, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna join. And my mom tried like convincing me. She tried saying, "No, mijo, stay home, yeah. I'll pay you for fucking gas so you can go to college."
La IBC, para que vas a la IBC, güey.
Yes, you can go to the one college in like a 5-town county, like that the college is so full you can barely get classes.
We all have criminal justice. Everybody wants criminal justice.
Yeah, dude. Everybody wants criminal justice, so you can never get it, because your options are CO, Border Patrol, or like IID or some shit like that. Those are your options.
An associates in criminal justice, IVC.
Hey, did you actually? You got it. You took the spot, dog.
I fucking went for it. I'm like, fuck it.
Good job. Good for you. I tried it and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna join the Marine Corps. I did it for I went to college for like a year and a half. And I was like, man, I can't get one of my classes. I can't even get one of my classes for my major. And I was like, I'll join the Marine Corps. I'll do 4 years, and I can get into a better school. I'm still not going to school, but it ended up not that didn't end up being the actual full reason as to why I joined. I actually, like, now that I look back at it, you know, it's like, fuck yeah, like I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad that I picked the Marine Corps. And me being 19, I think was a good time to do it. Feeling like I'm 35, but it's all good, baby.
Verga, bien ruco acá.
¿Qué pasó?
¿Cómo me siento yo a la verga, bien ruco a los 30?
Oh yeah, especially being around like fucking 19-year-olds in basic training. I bet you felt like they probably saw you with a cane. Everybody sees you way older. Everybody sees you way older when you're around like 18, 19-year-olds. Like, how old are you? Fucking 36?
Oh, ya, señor, me decían el señor, güey, acá.
Did they really? Oh, hey, señor. Compromiso, excuse me, you know.
Disculpe, usted.
Yeah. They're super polite and respectful. That's so funny. And would you say that you would recommend the National Guard for people who are looking for a military experience but don't necessarily want to go the active duty route, you know, or reserve?
Yeah, I really recommend the National Guard. Like I said, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. You get to go one weekend a month. Well, that's what they tell you.
That's
but
what they
it's
tell
bullshit. Yeah, you go sometimes more.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. You get to still live your civilian life. So you kind of it's not hard. You just have to balance both worlds, because at the end it is two worlds that you're working on.
Yeah.
It worked for me. Like I said, at the end, the person has to sit down and write the fucking goal that they want to do, where they want to go. So, example, I would say, like for me, that I was almost 30, active duty wasn't for me.
Right.
I was a correction officer, associates, bachelors.
Yeah.
I already had a lot of shit on my belt.
Right.
So active duty, I was gonna be making less money, and
Mhm.
there were a lot of cons that. So I'm like, I still want to serve the country. I still wanted that experience,
Right.
but I don't want to go full time because I'm still good in my civilian life.
Right.
So I the Army National Guard, and it's good, man. You get state funds, you get federal funds. Like right now, I'm on federal orders. Bonuses. Hey, bonuses.
Fat bonuses,
Bro,
huh?
lo chingas
That
en
army's got that fucking. The army's got those stacks, dude. They just got rid up. They're like 20
pinche
G's,
chequecito
20
cada
G's,
10
baby.
$10.
Yeah. Like fuck, man. Those guys know how to get you in.
I've gone to the point where it has worked for me in my life. It sucks to be away because I'm away from my family.
Right.
Because right now it's active, but most of the time I'm here home. I'll just go a weekend, 2 weeks a month.
Right.
We'll be active sometimes to, like, I think 2 years ago went to Germany. They've been to Chile, my unit.
So cool.
They've been to El Salvador. So they've been to a lot of places. You still travel, but it's different than active. It's definitely different.
This is the military that we're talking about. This is the traveling experience. Not like if you join active duty, which is nothing's wrong with active duty. I was active duty, but it's I feel like it's a different lifestyle when it comes to it's a different you see every single side of the federal side of the military. Like everything about
24.
it. ¿Qué pasó?
So I do recommend it. I like it, but you always want to talk to somebody that knows about it. I went blindsided. I didn't know. I just went for it. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. Hey, it ended up working out for you, and you ended up fucking getting after it.
At the end, I'll make it happen, bro.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say are some of the best things that you've gotten out of being in the National Guard?
First, like we talked about, the experience.
Yeah.
Like, it's an experience that it's gonna change you. Even just think about it, it makes me laugh, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's a fun experience. Neta que es una putiza, but it's fucking fun once you're doing it. The feeling of accomplishment,
Yeah.
It feels good. You make when they say we have a brotherhood, sisterhood, you actually create a fucking bond.
Yeah.
Like that, it's unexplainable. Like right now, I'm still talking to. I got a lot of Puerto Rican friends, and we fucking talk like a lot through Facebook Messenger. Actually, I ended up going to Puerto Rico when I got out of AIT. I booked a flight to Puerto Rico. I took my wife because I wanted to know the culture because I got close to the Puerto Ricans. That we became like brothers, and so I know sometimes the media and they like to portray other things, which, don't get me wrong, shit happens. It's like anything. Like shit is always gonna happen, but you meet a lot of good people, a lot of interesting people. You meet a lot of crazy motherfuckers too.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy, but you meet a lot of fucking crazy motherfuckers. But it's that bond that you create, bro, that I really enjoy. Like I said, like you mentioned before, I'm doing my master's degree. I'm not paying nothing for my master's degree.
That's fucking cool.
I'm actually getting two types of funds: the state fund and the federal fund. So that covers my school. That's without going into my GI Bill, Montgomery Bill, or nothing. That's just.
How does the GI Bill work for you guys? Do you have to be in for a certain amount of time
to
get full access?
Yeah, so for that you have to be active for 90 days.
Like what you're doing right now, basically.
Like what I'm doing right now. So
90 days, that's all?
Yeah, so you have to do 90 days, but it would only cover, I think it's 40% or 30%. Okay. Yeah, so the more you do, it'll cover more.
Oh, okay.
So The main reason I'm active right now is because of that. Because I went active because I know at the end of being active, I'm gonna get that.
Do you get to choose? How does that work? Do you get to choose how much you're being active? Like you said, you went active, right? Do you get to choose how active you want to be? Is
Sometimes.
or is that something that was like assigned to you in the beginning of your contract? Was it something that you get to pick?
Now, so normally once you do your contract,
Yeah.
you do like I have a 6 years, 2 years. So normally they'll missions will come up and they'll ask for volunteers. Most of the time they'll ask for volunteers,
Yeah.
unless it's something everybody has to do it. Then you kind of volunteer. They tell you.
Yeah.
But this mission, they'll volunteer people. But it's a good experience, man. Like I said, the main reason why I went into active was to get the benefits, because
Right.
at the end of those benefits I can use them for my PhD, because I want to do a PhD, or I want to pass them to my wife so she can, because she's about to graduate next week. So
Right.
now I can send her my, so she can do her
Your
master's now.
benefits, yeah. How does that work for National Guard as well? Like, because I think for active duty you have to be in for, I think it's 6 years to be able to transfer your GI Bill benefits to your significant other, or like to like your spouse or your kid. How does that work for you guys? Do you know?
Like the VA loan, normally you have to be in for 6 years for it to be the VA loan to be active.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm active right now, I'm able to access VA loan already.
Really? Just
Yep.
immediately?
Yep.
Wow. Wow,
Yep.
that's sick.
That's another thing why I went active too.
That's really cool. That's fucking cool. And you get the full aspects of the A loan, huh? Wow, that's dope. Yeah. And they hooked you up. I think
Yep.
there's a lot of
And
different.
I'm serving all over the state of Texas. I'm not even getting out of the country right now.
Right. That's so cool. Man. Do you know how it works if you're trying to transfer, if you're trying to go, if you're trying to like relocate states? Like if you're trying to move to a different state, how does that work? Do you know?
I don't know, but I know
Right.
it can happen. Cause I know my lieutenant, he's from another state and he transferred to Texas.
Oh, really?
So it's possible. Yeah, you can do it.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. I
But you
wonder.
know, it's like everything. The military takes a lot of time and a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's like 2 years for active duty. You have to be 2 years on station before you can request orders to potentially move like states or base or whatever the fuck it may be. Before you can request a different location to be at. Um, yeah. What would you say your main goal is out of this? Would you say that you're just trying to make a career out of it and just continue until you retire?
I'm pretty much, I as of right now, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, my experience has been great. I'm taking I'm taking the benefits. I'm taking everything.
Right.
I really, I'm enjoying it as of right now, because it could change.
Right.
I think I would do the 20 years, um, because why not? I'm just here. Why wouldn't I fucking do something I enjoy and
Yeah, why the
do?
fuck not? Especially if it's going, the way you want it to be going, and you're getting some things out of it, that could potentially help you in the long run. Like you said, your education's being paid for, and you get to. I feel like the cool part about it is that you get to actually help out, like in the community, like in
Yeah.
your state. I think being active duty, you don't really get to do that much. You just kind of either you deploy or you don't, and you stay here in the states and you just do training. You don't necessarily really do a lot of like hurricane help or anything like that. I guess it just depends on your job on active duty. Um, or if you're on I think it's called a MU, Marine Expeditionary Unit, which is like a boat going around a ship going around the country or the world, sorry. Then they help other countries that potentially have hurricanes and stuff like that. But I mean, I think it's cool that you get to fucking assist, your fellow people, when shit's hitting the fan here at home,
We our unit has covered hurricanes, the whole Gulf of Mexico.
Wow.
They've done like the riot controls. They've done pretty much like now. Right now, we're doing COVID, and yeah,
Right.
we do a little bit of everything. But it's a pretty cool experience, man. It's really it really is. Some people don't like it. Some people, like I said, I like it. So it really depends.
Yeah. And do you plan on also keep like continuing? I guess this isn't necessarily a question that has to be answered or whatever. Do you plan on continuing your stateside job with the National Guard? Like do it as a like how you've been doing it as a two-sided gig?
As of, as of right now, that's what I'm doing. But once my goal is I want to get my master's so I can get like licensed clinical. I want to be a therapist. I'm trying to, you know,
Really?
engage with the I'm trying to
Damn,
engage with
dude,
the community, do
that's fucking
some
awesome.
therapy. So that's the goal, bro. Get licensed clinical so we can, help children,
Y-
adolescents, traumas, and try to motivate them and get them better.
Yeah. You ever thought about doing like a
I needed that shit in my life, so I'm trying
yeah?
to
It's
give
good
that
to
shit.
fucking give it back to kids who could use it. You know. I think. I think the school times really focus on you being good at doing homework and doing your classwork and that's it. They don't really from my experience of going to school, it wasn't like oh you can do this, you can do this is how you do that. Like these are some options that you have. I think there needs to be more focus on life things, taxes, fucking like potential write-offs for like taxes, tickets, shit like that, shit that you could use that you've never thought about before, and then you just get launched out there, and you're like, all right, so how does this whole thing?
Oh shit, I gotta take care of my credit.
What was that first part you said?
like like using all your credit card, and then that's how you find out you gotta take care of your
Oh my
credit.
god, yeah, my little brother, but he's killing it now. Like fuck. I luckily joined too young before I was able to do that, and my mom was always the good thing about that is my mom was always very, very, very credit. Like she would always be like credit, credit, credit. Don't fuck up your credit. She's always because that's one thing that she would always. That's one thing that my mom would definitely always preach. Like do not fuck up your credit. Credit is worth a lot in the states. I was like, all right, all right, all right. She always try to bury that in our heads. Um, but yeah, I think it's cool that what you're trying to do. You ever think about doing it for veterans, like therapy for veterans too, or is it?
Actually, I just wrote a paper. I was actually before I started talking to you, I was writing a paper about PTSD for
Were you
service
actually?
members. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
What?
I just finished writing, turning it in today. It's about a different type of. They create a different type of therapy for service members because most of the therapies and
Uh
treatments
huh.
they're done by civilians.
Right.
So like we talked before, we navigate. It's kind of like when we talk about Mexican American, we navigate two cultures. Well, I'm navigating other two type of cultures. So
Yeah.
now I'm navigating the military and the civilian world.
Yeah.
So most of the treatments are done by civilian people.
Right.
And this treatment that I wrote about, it's called AD. It's disclosure. It's
Hmm.
to help people, veterans with PTSD and grief. So
Right.
I had to write a paper about it, just kind of how it affects, how it will help the veterans and the service members and all that.
That's awesome, dude. And that service AD, that's specifically made for
It's,
veterans. You said.
it's specifically made for service members.
Is it made by service members therapist or like service therapists or experience like that? Yeah.
It's made by that.
That's crazy. How different is the process when it comes to like civilian therapy and service member therapy? You,
So there's a lot of different types of treatments,
mm,
but what we focus on this one is well the things that we've talked about, like the type of bonds that service members have with their fellow, you know, um,
brother or
comrades,
sister, yeah.
brothers, sisters, and so this type of therapy is to it's kind of to release to try and make the military culture doesn't help because we go back to and I wrote this in my paper. We go back to our culture being so egoistic and very
Yeah.
savage, dude.
Yeah.
And that when a person suffers from a mental illness, you're look in a normal society, you're looked upon as weak. So now imagine in a society where everything you bitch about is weakness.
Yeah.
Now you have PTSD, you have depression. So how the fuck do you ask for help? So on this type of treatment, it helps to it takes you through a process of revealing little by little what you're feeling. Because at the end, you have to. We all have emotions, and no matter how the
Definitely.
fuck you are, you know how tough you are. We have emotions. I'm an emotional person. I don't give a fuck. I can say, but I know how to control him. But I can shit. I cry. I don't give a fuck, you know. But I know how to control it in situations and shit. But it helps to disclose the person. It takes you to a process. For the service member to disclose what they're feeling to their family members, to the therapist. They do this. They'll put this share in front of them, and in the share, they do a lot of an imagination treatment there.
Really?
Yeah, where the person you make the person talk. Let's say an example. You're grieving because your homeboy got shot, and you feel so like you were supposed to be there. He was my brother. Okay, so but you don't talk about it because you're not supposed to talk.
It's frowned
because you're
upon, and you don't want to be a burden and shit like that.
So you'll put a share. They'll take you through a process. They'll navigate you to that point where they'll make you close your eyes, just relax. Because there's different types of relaxation things that you can do kind of to help the person. And little by little, all right, what if that person was in front of you? What would you say? Walk me through the day that has happened. So they'll have to disclose little by little everything that happened. And then next session or whatever, I'm actually gonna do a video. That's my final. I'm actually doing it on that.
Are
Which
you?
I'm doing it I'm doing it next week.
Dude, you should grab a vet and
that's what I'm doing. I'm using somebody.
Send me the link, please.
Yeah,
Please.
I'm using
I will
somebody.
blast it. I'll put it on my page. I'll put it on my page for sure.
I'm gonna use somebody that's in my unit.
Awesome.
And then you just you help the person navigate their emotions, getting them out, and just kind of reconnect with the grief that most of the time we feel like it was our fault that we could do more. But what would that person say? What would that person be? You know, using those open questions that would help the person maybe realize or open that brain where it's like, okay, maybe it was fault type of deal.
What's a big part about it, I think, at least in from what I've gotten and from what I've gotten from talking to all these guys, you know, guys and girls from them getting out of the service, is I feel like a big part is them coming back out here and feeling like they're not a part of this society, this community, that they don't it's a weird place for them to fit in. It's I think it's very hard to find where exactly you're supposed to go when you come back from the service, or when you just experienced it so much and you've been around it, and then you go back to work, and it's such a different fucking, how can you describe it, environment. Like, it's almost like a different world, dude. It's almost like it's like a whole different world. It really is. Because people take shit differently there. You can, I don't know. It's all completely different. It's very hard to adapt when you get back to this this normal life that we call. I think that's fucking cool what you're doing, dude. I'm really excited to see what that's gonna come out and how that's gonna look.
It's a pretty unique. I've never. I started reading about it, so that's why I'm actually doing it. And right now, it's perfect timing to write about it. And you know,
fuck yeah! I think it'll be cool. Was the guy that you're doing it with, was he prior service to the National Guard, or has he been National Guard the whole time? Te cortaste un poquito.
He's been active. He's been active, and he's been active. I'm not using somebody that actually is grieving because
Okay.
I don't want to. I'm
No.
not licensed. I'm not at this point. I'm practice. I'm not a
Sure. Sure.
practice. I'm
Sure.
not
Sure. Sure.
practicing it professional or nothing.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't want to fuck. I don't want to fuck with emotions. I don't want to be a fuck
Dude.
boy.
Dude. Dude, you're making me feel guilty because sometimes when I'm talking to people on here, like it can get a little deep, when it comes to people talking about shit, and it's not like I don't know, it's not trying to be a therapist or anything like that, but I want to hear people's experiences and their stories of like how it feels, and that's why, like, before I talk to them, before we start like recording and everything, I'm like, hey man, if there's anything that you don't want to talk about, you cannot talk about it. It's all good. Like, you can just say that you don't want to talk about it, and we could just move on. Or if there's anything that you want to bring up, feel free to bring it up. I make it very clear that I don't want to intrude in something that's too deep, And if they don't want to bring it up, they don't. I've had one of them tell me that they didn't want to bring this up because they didn't want to get into that. Which is fine because it could be something that could trigger a whole fucking bucket of emotions that they don't want to fucking feel or think about again. Um,
Yep.
do you plan on working on that a little bit more when it comes to dealing with veterans after you get your, like, were you trying to get licensed to become a therapist? Do you think that's
So
something that you're also gonna do on the side?
I'm actually looking into it because I know there's. I think if I go officer, I'm able to do it. So I'm looking into options. I would like to start like my own practice.
Yeah,
Well, I'll be able to serve different members in society. So not
yeah,
just, but I know working with veterans will be it's a huge deal. So why not?
yeah.
I'm always looking for options and opportunities, bro. I never narrow my shit down.
Right, which is good because then, like you said, you can fucking branch out to everything else that you wanna try to get out. Um, I had a question for you. Um, what was it? What was it? No, maybe you could fucking, maybe, right? This is just me throwing shit out there like an asshole. Um, maybe you will make up a plan for people transitioning.
Yeah,
Maybe
like,
you'll be like, hey, this
good
is
one.
this is something that could potentially work if you want to include that in your transition and readiness seminar, a part of those 2 weeks, and you could potentially give people a heads up. Um, you know, especially being in the service now and you being in that field, I think that's also another option where you could build a plan for vets and, like, hey, you might experience some of this shit, you might experience some of that. These are some ways that you can potentially deal with it. These are some ways that, and I know there's help out there for veterans, and I personally never gone that route, so I don't know how it works. I've had a few of them who have a few of them on here who do therapy, and they say it helps. But some people say that it just doesn't help at all. It doesn't matter how much you talk about it. It doesn't necessarily, uh, I guess, make them feel the way they should. It's and I
Yeah,
get it because I'm sure those guys have gone through some pretty hardcore shit when it comes to normal living.
yeah, exactly. Like, and we go back to everybody processes it different. So to some
Yeah,
people it helps, to some people it doesn't. Some people it's so engraved that maybe never gonna change. It's never gonna help. And maybe it was the impact was so hard that it rewired the brain to a certain, you know, dude,
yeah,
that's the norm. So
yeah. I think
yeah,
that's one thing that the military is good at doing, though, is shaping you, not really shaping you, but like getting you to go their specific way, and going the route that they want you to go. Um, yeah, yeah. I think we'll cut it here, dude.
right.
Yeah, we'll call it good. This was good. We're fucking hour 30, dude. Bam, bam, shazam.
It was a
Thanks for
good
coming
time.
on here again, man. I appreciate it. Sorry about the technical difficulties that happened. Keep an eye out for his podcast. It'll be sick.
Mhm.
I know he'll do great things when he does it. Um,
Yeah, come.
yeah, yeah, we'll fucking add it up to the link whenever you got. Send me that video though of the dude that you're doing it with. I'm curious as to what it's gonna look like. I want to see it. Thanks again for coming on, dude. I appreciate you. And good luck on your active orders. Get those
Yeah.
bennies and keep killing it, man.
Well,
Sale, way. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Peace out, y'all.
peace out, bro.